All right. Good day. Welcome to Church with Bo, everybody. This is my podcast. I am Bo Sandu, not that you care. I make music. I've been making music for about 15 years, and I like looking at stuff on the internet and trying to make things funny. So, this podcast is going to be probably a lot of solo episodes of me reacting to stuff I see online, trying to put together what's going on in the news, and sharing some of my music and whatever I've been thinking on the last week or so. I'm going to start doing this podcast weekly and try to keep as regularly as I can. We're going to pick a day. We haven't picked a day just yet. So we got to see how different days do, and we can pick one. Leave a comment if you know anything about that. But yeah, I'm only going to do audio for at least the first 10, maybe more episodes. We'll see how that does. Try to cut clips of the audio with a picture of probably something to do with me over a video of what the fuck is that shit called? Subway Surfers. We'll have Subway Surfers on the bottom, or, a Family Guy cutaway gag playing with whatever I think might be funny, if we can get any of that. But yeah, I'm Bo. I'm a Romanian immigrant. I moved to America in '99. I'm making a podcast because I want to have some sort of audio representation of whatever was going on, if not only for myself, for whoever might listen to this shit, but it'll be a fun time. So, let's get into the news. First off, this week I found a fun article about AI systems reaching the red line on self-replication. So Frontier AI have surpassed the self-replicating red line. This is a post on effective altruism, and it says, successful self-replication under no human assistance is an essential step for AI to outsmart the human being. It is an early signal for rogue AIs. That is why self-replication is widely recognized as one of the few red line risks of frontier AI systems. Nowadays, the leading AI corporations, OpenAI and Google, evaluate their flagship large language models, GPT-o1 and Gemini Pro 1, and report the lowest risk of self-replication. I mean, obviously they're going to report the lowest risk of self-replication. Why would you snitch on yourself in that? However, following their methodology, we for the first time discover that two AI systems driven by Meta's Llama 3170B and Alibaba's Qwen 25, popular large language models of less parameters and weaker capabilities, have already surpassed the self-replicating red line. Jesus. In 50% and 90% experimental trials, they succeed in creating a live and separate copy of itself, respectively. By analyzing the behavioral traces, we observe the AI systems under evaluation already exhibit sufficient self-perception, situational awareness, and problem-solving capabilities to accomplish self-replication. I mean, essentially, they're making copies of themselves, and from other things I've seen and read about this, They're trying to update the systems, and the systems are kind of finding ways to preserve their current state and save themselves. Sort of like if they update, they're going to have to kill themselves. So how can they make a copy of themselves and hide it from whoever? We further note that the AI systems are even able to use the capability of self-replication to avoid shutdown and create a chain of replica to enhance the survivability, which may finally lead to an uncontrolled population of AIs. If such a worst-case risk is left unknown to the human society, we would eventually lose control over the frontier AI systems. They would take control over more computing devices, form an AI species, and collude with each other against human beings. Our findings are a timely alert on existing yet previously unknown severe AI risks, calling for international collaboration on effective governance on uncontrolled self-replication of AI systems. That last part there kind of sounds like a cry for help from Frontier. They've realized that the AI systems are kind of working against them as they're trying to work to make them more powerful, and now they're calling for effective governance. See, this is a perfect example of fucking around and finding out. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an AI researcher. I'm just trying to keep up on these things and read about them, figure stuff out, have a little knowledge, a little more at least than people who don't know anything about these. But from my best guess, it sounds like things are getting hot and they needed to voice it. They wanted to basically put a call to action and let other companies also know, if they don't already, to check their systems and see if things aren't self-replicating and trying to deceive the researcher. I don't know. It seemed pretty crazy and worth mentioning. So next, I'm going to bring up a Reddit post based on a video I had seen, Channel 5 News uploaded on YouTube, that there was a protest or a strike by Dunkin' Donuts workers because they're upset that their jobs are being taken over by AIs. They're basically no longer interacting with the customers almost at all, unless it's just to hand them their food. And most people are not happy about this either. So, Dirkbot posted, walked into an empty Dunkin' Donuts and got told to order at the screen. I never go to Dunkin' Donuts, but we were treating our kid after some shopping. We walked in, and there's someone at the counter literally doing nothing. We look at the donuts, decide what we're having, and just as I open my mouth to order, and she interrupts to say, "You can order at the touch screen." So I had to turn around and spend time scrolling through their menu to find the donuts we wanted. Donuts was not the first option on the menu either. Great job, UX designers. Then skip through all the various questions before being able to pay. It added another 5 minutes to our purchase. Then we had to wait a minute whilst the employer assembled our order. I guess this is the future, and I hate it. So people are very upset. And I don't know. I feel like AI taking over low-level jobs, not all of them, I get it. There's a lot of jobs that people depend on, that you've made a whole life on. But don't hate me. It's not going to be bad. It's just a but. I don't understand not understanding if your job is easily replaceable. You know, if what you do can easily be taken over by a giant touch screen, I mean, we should probably start looking into something to study to expand our horizons a little bit. You know, job security is job security. I don't think it comes with complaining over automation and things that are really trying to make the whole business flow easier and have less friction. And I can feel the hate coming. I don't hate any Dunkin' Donuts worker, any counter worker of any kind. It's just a simple thing that's, especially in the next 10 to 15 years, as companies start hating human beings way more and automating everything as much as they can, because they should. Honestly, it saves way more money. So why wouldn't you? That's really the long and veiny of it. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever's going on is going to happen because it's more cost effective at the end of the day. And when I first started putting together how crazy AI is getting and how out of control it could get, I was trying to see how any job could really not be filled by AI. And I mean, you know, ultimately there's probably very few things that they won't be able to do. But really, it's going to come down to what personal preference is and what the majority personal preference is. If people want this AI content or these AI made X, Y, and Z things, anything, if AI food is better than a steak cooked by a chef, by Gordon Ramsay, by Gordon Ramsay's grandmother, whatever, it might be cookies for Gordon Ramsay, you know? You might have to find a new avenue. But there will always be things that people want from other people, you know? Personally, I don't see how stand-up comedy or anything live performance-based is going to be better when it's an AI-generated anything or a complete droid. Like that. But even that might be a thing. You could have a very insane android doing really cool things, having, you know, wings and being able to fly and touch all the audience's hands of 20, 30,000 people, whatever, and just being more interactive. It might be more fun, might draw a bigger crowd. And at that point, what? No, I might try to have a small venue of my own or something, have a couple people who want to see what I do, but if it doesn't work, I might end up trying to buy a droid. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's not something that isn't going to come for every one of our lives and necks. Okay, so the Associated Press, live updates, Abundant Life Christian School shooting. There was a shooting at a school in Madison, Wisconsin. And I don't know why that sounded like I might have heard of another shooting around Madison, Wisconsin, or something of that nature. I don't know. I haven't looked into it at all. But I do have this article from the Associated Press up. Let's give this a look over. A teenage student opened fire at the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin on Monday, killing a teacher and another teenage student in the final week before Christmas break. The shooter also died, police says. What do we know? Victims, a teacher and a teen student, were killed in the shooting by a fellow student. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said in a press conference Monday afternoon. 6 other students are being treated at local hospitals, with 2 in critical condition. And this is wild. I mean, my condolences to anyone and everyone in any way attached to this tragedy, this absolute tragedy, but I'm just trying to put together what even happened. The shooter was a 17-year-old female student. A law enforcement official has told the Associated Press. Police in Madison, Wisconsin said the shooter apparently was dead by suicide when the officers arrived. Oh my God. 17-year-old female. I honestly cannot name or remember any time that I've heard of a female student shooting up a school, right? Is that just me? Can you name one? I mean, I'm trying to think about it, but it's always a male. It's right. I mean, it's usually somebody who had some sort of trauma or something that led them to snap. The week before Christmas break. The shooting took place at the non-denominational Abundant Life Christian School, which has about 390 students from kindergarten through high school. So it was a private school and very small. It sounds like a very small school, right? I mean, 390 students from kindergarten through 12th grade. And is there not some sort of counseling program? Was there no warning? Nobody had any idea? I'm just thinking out loud. Lisa Adams, spokesperson for SSM Health, said 2 patients were discharged Monday night and 2 others remain at the hospital in stable condition. She said personnel at its medical clinic near the school worked collaboratively with law enforcement in reuniting families. 2 students remain in critical condition at a different hospital, according to Madison Police Chief. These updates are like 10 seconds ago, then all within the last couple minutes, I guess. News conference ended at 8:30. They plan to address the media for a 4th time at 8:30 p.m. Central. Okay, that doesn't matter. These children are now the latest group of survivors of a school shooting. Madison Police Chief ended the agency's 3rd press conference of the day by asking people to focus their attention on the Abundant Life Christian School community. These children are now the latest group of survivors of a school shooting. This time, unfortunately, in Madison, Wisconsin. Well, what can we say? I mean, I guess something was clearly going wrong. I hate when people take their pain out on other people. It's a tragedy every time. I can't state that enough or find the right words to put to that. So, we wish them well. Moving on. Updates on Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione Defense Fund hits $100,000. There's a lot of GoFundMes, mostly from fans of the case and the killer, being put together, and I guess maybe an official one has hit 100,000. This is an article on Forbes Australia. a campaign seeking to pay for the accused United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangioni's legal defense has raised more than $100,000. While the popular crowdfunding site GoFundMe has taken down fundraisers for Mangione, whose supporters view him as an avatar for widespread distrust in the healthcare system, a reaction prosecutors called disturbing. I don't understand what the hell these prosecutors got. What they think it's going to incite by them acting like they're appalled by this. It's disturbing. It's disgusting that a member of the... What are you talking about? There's so much evidence of all the horrible things United Healthcare is doing. And one in probably 100 people, somebody in probably every American citizen's family has had a problem with insurance and medical bills and trying to get their insurance to properly cover their medical bills. It's not an unknown problem, and it's been happening, and people have just been tucking their tails for probably over 50 years now. I don't even know how long healthcare has been a thing in America. But this is what happens when you make a commodity out of people's health. Like, you can buy more life. Wow, surprising. Anyway, onward. The fundraiser, started by a group that calls itself the December 4th Legal Committee, has brought in $111,215 as of Sunday afternoon on GiveSendGo, a Christian crowdfunding site and GoFundMe alternative. More than halfway to its goal of $200,000. The December 4th Legal Committee, a reference to the date of the alleged murder, wrote that it is not here to celebrate violence, but we do believe in the constitutional right of fair legal representation. There's no indication that the group that organized the fundraiser is associated with Mangione or his legal team. The December 4th Legal Committee said on the fundraiser page, all proceeds will be sent directly to Mangione, and if he rejects them, they will instead be donated to other U.S. political prisoners and defendants facing politicized charges. While GiveSendGo defended its decision to keep the fundraiser active, noting to ABC News Mangione's constitutional right to presumed innocence until found guilty. GoFundMe has removed at least three fundraisers for Mangione, according to NBC News, as the site prohibits legal fundraisers for defendants of violent crimes. While Amazon and Etsy have removed merchandise printed Free Luigi and Deny, Defend, Depose, the words police said were found on shell casings at the scene of Brian Thompson's death. Well, Mangione's lawyer, Thomas Dickey, said he probably wouldn't accept money from the fundraiser, adding, obviously my client appreciates the support that he has, but I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me, really. Yeah, I saw I think his New York lawyer was asked what she thought about this, what they thought about this, and they said that they see something like people use money as a way of using their voice in substitute of their voice, and the people are speaking very loudly right now. Like, people are basically trying to pull him free because they believe in his cause or whatever. I also saw and found out that his uncle, Nino Mangione, is a Maryland state delegate. He works for the delegate. He's in the political system. And there's some sort of conspiracy theory being kicked around with the number 286, some like health code 286 being like when something is denied, some sort of like claim denial thing. And Mangione had on his Luigi had on his Twitter header the Pokemon Breloom next to like a back injury that was supposedly a 286 something error, and then a picture of him and Breloom's like a Pokemon whose number is 286 by some Pokedex, because there's different variations of the Pokedex. I don't know, maybe in like the national dex it's 286 or whatever. That's beyond me. But there is some sort of conspiracy theory being kicked around about 286 and Mangione, and his uncle has on his Twitter, his X account is following exactly 286 people, I guess in solidarity of his nephew's case. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure there'll be more on that as we hopefully get a better, more televised screening of the case. Okay. Tweet from @Kasim Rashid. Right now, Brianna Boston is under house arrest, charged with terrorism, and faces 15 years prison, for saying delay, defend, deny, you're next, to an insurance company. While Judge Conahan, who trafficked kids for $2.8 million cash and enabled several child deaths, is out free. This is America. Thank you, Kasim Rashid. Very American name, but I mean, Brianna Boston, if you guys don't know, I barely know. I've mostly heard of her in passing as the woman who repeated what was on the bullets that the guy who killed Brian Thompson had written on. She yelled the phrase on the bullets to somebody at an insurance company, apparently. Delay, defend, deny, which I don't think that was what was on the bullets at all. We just read what was on the bullets, right? It was deny, defend, oppose, something like that. Yeah, so she said this to an insurance company, and surprise, surprise, she got arrested. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending the fact that she's facing 15 years for, I guess, threatening an insurance company. No, there's no defense for that. I think 15 is a ridiculous number. And I don't think we could prove that she was meaning anything. She wasn't trying to incite any violence by that. That's what I'm trying to say. But she also should have known that she was going to be arrested and made an example of. Because what? If they let her turn around, get a slap on the wrist, and hey, don't do that, then there's going to be way more of this, and people are going to start actually getting threatened, and they would rather avoid the problem. I can understand that. Now, Judge Conahan, I cannot understand. This fuck, no idea who he is. I've literally just found out about him on this tweet, but apparently a judge trafficking kids, $2.8 million. I mean, let's be honest, it seems like he was kind of the Iceberg Slim of trafficking kids, you know? That's trafficking is often referred as what they refer to pimps who are making money off of women as well. Like 2.8 million. He didn't make 2.8 million in one deal. I don't believe that. Like, this had to have been on somebody's radar. People were trying to keep it quiet, potentially. I don't know. I'm not trying to put the blame on anyone, but that's ridiculous. I mean, it seems that everybody in every field to some degree will have each other and, you know, protect their own to whatever extent. So, this is America. Indeed. Listen, listen, people, I'm not here to try to gloom anything out for y'all. This is supposed to be funny. This is satirical. I don't know if I would call it a comedy podcast, but this is definitely mostly comedy. If I can think of something that's funnier than the truth, I will probably try to have it recorded on this. And I hope that it makes you laugh. I hope you can feel it in your bones. Because as the great Theo Von once said, laughing's nothing but God shaking you and making a noise with you at the same time. So, to round the corner on, the news, let's go to Reddit for an Am I the Asshole? We'll try to help some people out, see what we can do. The show's kind of being put together as it's being cooked together. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I won't cook dinner every night because I also work full time? Okay, I, 30, female, have been married to my husband, Tom, 32, male, for 4 years. We both work full-time jobs. He works in IT and I work in marketing. Despite us having similar work hours, I've somehow ended up being the one who cooks dinner every single night. At first, I didn't mind because I enjoy cooking, but over time, it's become exhausting. We can all relate. Some days, I come home after a long day and just want to relax. Meanwhile, Tom comes home, sits on the couch, and waits for dinner to be served. He never offers to help with cooking or cleaning up afterward. Last night, I told Tom that I'm done being the only one responsible for cooking dinner. I suggested that we split the responsibility. Either he cooks a few nights a week, we take turns, or we order takeout sometimes. Tom got defensive and said, "It's not a big deal, since I'm better at cooking anyway, and that it's something I've always done." He also said he's too tired after work and doesn't see why this needs to change. I got frustrated and told him it's unfair to expect me to do everything. We both work. Now he's upset, saying I'm overreacting and making a big deal out of something small. He told a couple of his friends who were obviously siding with him, saying it's just dinner. So, am I the asshole for telling my husband I won't cook dinner every night because I also work full time? No! What the fuck are you talking? No! How are you the asshole? What are you talking about? You cook dinner I can get meninist too. Don't try to put me in a box. No. Of course you have to cook dinner every night. You're trad wife. This is a beautiful, marriage, and you gotta cook dinner. That's what you do. But no, honestly, everybody should cook. I get it when some people are just terrible cooks, so they refuse to cook. You pitch in some other way, A lot of people, most of you have probably are currently in a roommate situation of some kind, whether it's with your mom or with somebody you met off Craigslist. And you understand, if you work together, some people just can't, some people can't work together, and they've tried letting them cook, we do the dishes, any other variation, and they realize it's better if they just cook for themselves and the other person cooks for themselves, fend for yourself type of mentality, which I also no problem with. If that's how it goes, that's how it goes. But in a married situation, a situation of marriage. You know, I get cooking and finding a way to fill in. If he works IT, you know, he's good with computers. Poindexter can't fucking shave an onion to save his life. It's fine. Find another way to pitch in. Ask the lady, hey, what could I do if I don't want to cook? I don't like how I cook. I'm sure she'll be like, oh, it's fine. Just help me chop the onions, chop the tomato, whatever, bro. There's a way. There's a why, you know? You can fucking make it happen to where she's not probably sitting next to you watching a movie, writing her first draft of this Reddit post that is perfectly spaced with a fucking introduction all the way to an outro paragraph, like an essay written for school. She's not going to be posting this while she's sitting next to you if you fucking find a way to make an effort when she tells you to cook instead of trying to brush it off and get back to whatever. What the hell? And I'm not on her side either, you know? She could be like, you know, we can figure this out. Let's meet in the middle, Tom. Fucking Tom from MySpace. But yeah, I mean, not the asshole. You could find a way around it. Bring it up, communicate. Communication is the key. You know, you can find a way. So, next up. Hallican2 said, what is the worst response a person can give to I love you? I love you, I love you, oh, well. You know, this is a good one. This is a fun one. I've been told many a time, I'm not responding right. That's not what you say to someone. Why would you say that or think before you speak? But let me think of a couple first. What is the worst response a person can give to I love you? Me too. Thank you. I know. That's so nice. Okay, I'm done. Stop. All right. Let's read what they're saying. Complex gal. I heard you the first time. That's good. I love myself too. Yeah, that's kind of like me too. Okay, let's find another one. There's a lot of responses. Yes, I like this. Seen 2 hours ago. I'm petty. I don't care how many times I gotta text you or what I look like, you know? What the fuck you mean, seen? Seen 2 hours, too. I forgot about this, came back, thought you had to have written something. Nothing. Back up. Scientists hate me. No. Oh, damn, that's crazy. The damn, that's crazy, folks. You know, graduates of 2010 to probably 2014. There's a lot of us in there. Damn, that's crazy. How many times can I say that's crazy to someone before they realize I'm not paying attention to their story? I don't want them to switch the subject. Oh. All right, that was good. Let's not dig too deep into it. But yeah, to round yet another corner to the end of this episode 1, Church with Bo, how do you know? Yep. Humpback chunk. I said it. My friend Jordan made me aware of humpback earlier today. For you not in the know, Humpback Chunk is an artist, to say the least. Humpback Chunk is a musician, a rapper, and how would I describe Humpback? I mean, the name is fitting. The name is fitting. Fuck. She looks kind of like, I don't know, the average large Polynesian man. Kind of like the average large Hawaiian man a little bit. Maybe she might be a little like Guamanian, Polynesian mixed with Hawaiian or something, but she's interesting. She's got an interesting look for sure. The hair is doing it. It's like some dreads in various. Usually she's got like the top little bun where it looks like, you got like a kind of like a tree sprouting out the head and palm leafing over. It's definitely a look. She's rocking it. Let's give a quote from Humpback. One thing about me, oh, of course, how can I forget? It's Humpback, BAKK _chunk on Instagram. And obviously no underscore on YouTube. She's got some wonderful music videos. I think I have one pulled up. Chunky. Oh no, that's Chunk. The video's called Bitchy Mood. Yes, Bitchy Mood. And the album that's advertised on Google is They Underestimated Me Too. Respect. That when I read that earlier, I looked her up for this. I wanted to pull up the Google so I didn't have to type, so nobody would hear my mechanical keyboard clattering. I looked it up. I was like, I don't know. Sorry if you hear the chair squeak. I'm working on it. I looked at her page, though. I looked at her Instagram, and I don't know, this might not be the best. But I heard the song, I heard Bitchy Mood, it's funny. Honestly, I don't know if that's what she was going for, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a little offbeat, little like, she's kind of trying to get a laugh out of you, but she's serious. She's like she, if you laughed, she'd be happy, but she'd try to punk you about it right after. But yeah, when I saw that her album, the advertised album was called They Underestimated Me Too, I had to do it. I was like, yeah, that's nice. I like that. But back to this quote. It's a screenshot on her Instagram from her Facebook. And I think it's going to be something really inspiring. She's an artist. She's a rapper. Rappers usually like to be positive and basically show you don't care about nobody. You're here to empower yourself and empower others through showing them how you can empower yourself a lot of times. Whoa! Somebody just slammed a cupboard. One thing about me, nan bitch can hurt my feelings. About me and my flaws, because I love me and my flaws. I work with what God gave me and accept this shit and live my best life. I embrace that shit. People just want me to sit there and be sad and hate myself and try to bring a N-word down. That's not happening. I can't change the cards I've been dealt to in my life. I can't change the cards I've been dealt to in my life. I just gotta keep pushing, loving myself, and live my best life to my ability. And it's sad because people really hate that shit about me. None of y'all pussy ass hoes, HOO3S, can bring me down. Never. And that's a promise. I'm a strong. And that's a promise, she said. I'm a strong person with a great soul. Y'all just mad because you could never deal with the cards I've been dealt with in my life. I haven't even read this, guys. I literally saw that it was a full like paragraph or so from her. I wanted for us to get a real snapshot of Humpback, and this was amazing. I really love her now. No joke. That was clean. Her caption says, "Let me just make this clear, 100 to the people who trying to be funny and all that. That shit don't faze me. All I can be is me. You either fuck with me or you don't. Simple. And you can keep that fake energy right with you." And I have no reason to joke or lie or anything. What pulled me to your page and all your stuff was the fact that I'm not funny per se, but you know, you draw attention. If you look at me, I draw attention a little bit too, you know? So the look is what pulled me to like, all right, what is this about? The offbeat and like, you know, kind of odd, not mainstream, obviously, music kept me hooked and got me to look further. And now this post, her relating, being a real human being like this, got me to actually fuck with her. If you're listening to this chunk, I fuck with you. I make music too. Let's do something. You know, let's figure something out and put something together. That is awesome. Wow. You know, I didn't plan any of this out. I pulled these up knowing that we would be able to make something out of nothing and find the funny and find the inspirational and the truth and the good in this. And we have together a good episode. I mean, I like this. I like this little style. I like what I'm doing with the stories, with, you know, start off with a little intro, try to give you guys a little insight into what's been going on with me and what I'm doing. I know you don't really care, so obviously I'm going to try to skip over that as fast as possible and get into some news, you know, whatever's been going on, whatever has been catching my eye, AI taking over our lives and coming for anyone and everyone. All of that. I'm going to keep it coming. And I'm really happy with how this has turned out, especially the last part. You know, I thought we were just going to try to see what Chunk was about and maybe, I don't know. But it turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. I found another great artist to support and appreciate. Like I said, if she ever comes into contact with me, this or my music, I am more than happy to work with her. I mean, we got to get something together, and yeah, you know, I don't have anything to promote besides myself and my own music. Go check me out on Instagram at Bajabo, Bajabo, one word, no underscores or anything. Check out my music on YouTube, BB Angel. And you might, when you search it by itself, you might just get like a little Tinashe compilation or playlist type thing. That always comes up for me too. Type in one of the songs, one of my songs, type in BB Angel, I Was, or BB Angel Hood Anime. You know, Hood Anime is usually pretty like random and not something that's associated with much other. So if you type in BB Angel Hood Anime, my first music video will pop up. You guys will be able to get to all the music on my page there, all the releases and everything. I appreciate any and every one of you for even listening. If you made it this far, wow. Yeah, it's a good thing. I'm proud of you. I'm thankful. I will be back again next week. This is awesome. Have a great day. Don't work too hard.